What's up? This is Jordan Gray from Half Lit and DopelivenTV.
Hey, this your boy Don Ritchie representing the Midwest 219. Stand up.
Hey, what's up, y'all? It's Lamar Tate.
This is your girl, Monifa.
Hey, what up? It's your man Dave Hollister from Blackstreet.
You know what this is right here. This Trigger Tretch in the building.
Hey, what's up, y'all? This is your boy Jason Weaver, and whenever I'm back home in the Chi, I'm checking out Dope Living TV.
Hey, it's your girl, Adina Howard, and you're watching Dope Living TV, live with Greg Gray and the crew.
Hey, what's up? It's me, it's Greg Gray, Dope Living TV Live. Short, simple, to the point. Now let it get drawn out and long. All right, check this out. The views that are expressed on Dope Living TV Live are not necessarily the views of Dope Living TV or its affiliates. I dare any of my people, any of my panel, to just read that straight like that. All right, any of them. Can't do it. Can't do it. Can't do it. Ain't that right, Gina? Excuse me?
I ain't doing it.
That's right. I know.
I ain't doing it.
What's up?
What's up? Hey, guess what today? What's love got to do? Got to do with it.
We're gonna start this shit right off the bat. Okay. All right. Let's go on the life, coach.
Coach.
What's up? What's
I asked
going
him,
on?
what's love got to do? Got to do
Everything.
And now let's bring the new singing duo, the new hot couple in LA, Nashville, Tennessee. Let's bring on Mo and Marianne.
Hey, Marianne.
Hey.
I can't hear.
What's going on?
You can't hear us? Then they're gonna say no.
Get it right, Moby. Get it right.
And we're gonna wait till we get it right.
It's gonna be exciting today. Very, especially with Marianne on board. She gonna take it to the left.
Marianne,
To the left.
We got Marianne up in this joint today, all right? Okay,
That's right.
She come on once every other month. It's all good, though.
That's right.
Well, can you hear us, Mo?
Hey, Brenda.
Oh.
Is that how you do that? What's up, Brian? Hey, baby. What's up, baby?
Hey.
Oh.
Yeah.
Love got to do.
Okay, Gina. Damn.
He like, don't wear it out, girl.
Say it right. Damn.
Speaking of damn.
Really? Hey, Marcy.
Hey,
really,
Marcella.
Greg, for real.
I was like,
hi, Gina. Hi,
Like,
Jeff.
damn.
Hey.
Damn, Marcy. All right. Yes,
Marcy,
sir.
what's love got to do?
Got to do
They both gonna
with
sing it, dog. We got them both.
And Marcy said she be going to choir practice.
I do.
You about to hit them vocals. About to hit them vocals.
Hey, we got Byron Patton sitting out there.
Oh,
Hey,
Lord.
Byron.
Hey, Byron. I saw that was that Marianne I saw on and
yes, they'll
right,
be back. They'll be back.
Okay. Relationship round table.
That's right.
I have a couple of questions that were sent to me.
Oh yeah.
We have some experts on today.
We do.
Marianne and Maurice.
Mm-hmm.
All right.
Let's say, because it definitely ain't me. Woof. Woo. I don't look. I can't tell nobody how to keep a relationship or to hold a relationship because I don't know how to do it myself. All right, so.
Well, are you taking notes?
No, I ain't never taking notes. I'm free balling. Byron said, "Love is so complicated. Lust is much easier to navigate." That's what I've been trying to tell everybody.
This is true.
Hit it.
He's stating some facts.
Just hit it, and then think about it later.
You know what, Greg? Okay, I have a serious question to ask you.
Oh, Lord.
What is it that you're seeking? Are you really seeking true love, or are you just seeking just to be out there and just whatever happens, happens, and that's it?
I am seeking the woman who not only incites my loins, but
Be
she
serious.
I
Serious.
am
Serious.
being very
Okay.
serious.
You're
Okay.
not gonna get serious on that question.
Not only does she have to excite my loins, but she has to incite my intellect as well.
Okay.
Seriously, you know what? I know what God has sent me, right? And I got what God has sent me. But the thing is, you got to know how to keep it. All right. You have to know how not to. I talk about it all the time, blocking your blessing.
Mm-hmm.
And as far as that goes, Greg always blocks his blessing.
You know what? Can we just kind of get into it? So what?
You gonna analyze me, right?
No, not you. Not just you. Just all
That's
of us.
what I thought she was about to do.
Standards versus preferences. What are some of your standards, and is there a difference between standards and preferences, and within a relationship, a romantic relationship?
I know my standards are somebody who's self-sufficient, somebody, and I guess they're both the same preferences as well. So they have to be self-sufficient, bring something to the table as well. All right, they have to be, for me. I'm just saying, for me, they got to be non-combative. You know what I'm saying? I don't want to argue. That's not me. I don't argue. I don't want to argue. So you can argue all day long, but I'm gonna be calm. Okay. Now, do I fall? Yeah, I fall. Okay. Sometimes I get reeled into that argument stuff. Okay, but I don't want to do it. I want somebody who basically has their own, because once we come together and blend both of ours, it's gonna be a beautiful thing. All right. You know, people talk about being the next Beyonce and Jay-Z. I want to be the next Greg and whomever I'm with. All right. I'm not trying to emulate anybody. I want to make sure that my love, my relationship stands on its own, so people can look and say, well, hey man, I can tell that they're in love. That's what I want.
So you're saying that standards and preferences are pretty much the same. Gina and Jeff, do you believe in that as well? Standards and preferences are pretty much the same.
Yeah, I think it is, because your standards are going to be your preferences.
Okay, let me put it to you this way. I watched a video earlier, and that question was asked.
The porn video?
What?
Yeah, go ahead.
Can't stand it sometimes. And this is how the guy put it. Think about when you're going to buy a car. What's standard on the car? Rims, steering wheel, a horn, things of that nature. These are things that are standard. And a lot of times when we say our standards, those are things that should be a given. And then our preferences are different. He says, so preference might be you want someone thin, or you want someone chunky, or you want someone tall or short, or, and he said, those are the preferences. So like saying, I want the leather seats, I want the red car, and I want this. And he says, so there's really a difference between your standard should be what's normal for everyone. You want someone that's going to love you, someone that you're going to get along with, and things of that nature that's not going to be combative, and someone maybe on your level or that can rise to your level. But then the preferences are the other things. And what the guy was stating was, when you start doing all these preferences and you don't get all of these preferences in what your standards are, like Greg just said, a lot of times you lose your blessing, because your actual person, that God-given person, might not be in that package that you're looking for.
My definition, though, of standards, Marcy, is your level of acceptance, like what you would accept. That to me, when you said standards, that's the definition I was thinking in my head. Like,
right, and that's pretty much the same. But then when you start talking about your preference,
but that's not a given. That's not a given. That's not a given if you're saying your standards, because everybody's standards are going to be different. It's not.
And that's correct. Given. That's correct. But then when you start talking about your preferences, that's just like, a lot of times that's the covering and the outer part. It's not the inner part, because a lot of the standards is normally what's within the person.
I don't know. I think, I don't know. To me, there's probably not a preference. It's how the person treats me. So I'm not looking at, and I think at some point when we were younger, that was important. The looks were very, very important, most important. Then as you got older, the sex was more important, you know. But as you mature, it's if this person fits into your dynamics.
Okay. Okay, and that's another way to look at it. Yeah.
I think more or less that's what I look at. I look at it that the dynamics part of it. You know what I mean? You got to fit in what I'm doing. Like, do you have the ability to kind of adapt in the move and groove with what I got going on? You know what I mean? Especially now. Especially now. You know what I mean? And vice versa. Can I do the same with that person? You know what I mean? Because I can adapt. I can be a chameleon. You know what I mean? We gonna move. We can move the way that the wave gonna go. You know, so I'm all right with it. But if that becomes a problem or an issue, then you know.
Yeah.
Hey, Kevin.
Hello, hola.
What's up, Kevin?
We don't
can't hear you, sir. We can't hear you.
That same thing happened with Maurice. What's going on?
What's going on?
Log off and come back on, bro. Just log off and come back on and try it again.
We lost Maurice and Marianne.
There's a young person, so you can learn from out of the mouth of babes too, man. A young person said they were young too, but I think they explained the male and the female perfectly. They said boys have a penis and girls have a vagina.
Okay. We all know that.
That should be a standard.
Hallelujah.
That should be a standard.
Yes.
Not a preference.
Kevin, we still can't hear you, bro.
Yeah.
Yeah, I heard you.
Yeah, we hear you.
I mean, I didn't hear you.
We see your lips move.
We don't hear a thing. Not a thing.
Do you understand the words that are coming out of my mouth?
Oh, he reads lips. He told us he reads lips very well.
Kevin had that safe flight. We're glad to see you, brother. Most definitely. We can't hear you.
Like this right here.
But I do it. Okay. You know why we can't hear him? Because we're on number 52 of the deck. So we got, you know.
You know what?
Well,
I'm promoting.
It's gonna be a long night.
It's not for me.
You know, that's the.
52. We're at the end, huh?
That's the small price to pay.
Let me ask y'all something. So, I'm sitting here and I'm listening to. This ain't got nothing to do with relationships. I'm listening to Luther. I'm listening to Teddy Pendergrass, and I was listening to Peebo, and I was listening to Shalimar. Right? And I was like, out of all of these guys, and no, I'm straight, y'all. But all of these guys, Luther was killing it, man.
Yes, we already know that.
Luther was killing it.
Yeah, Luther was
big Luther and little Luther.
Luther was
Let's see if Kevin got it right now.
Can you hear me now?
No, we can't hear you. We can't hear you.
Are you speaking? Are you saying something now?
I'm speaking.
Oh,
well,
can anybody hear him?
We can't hear you.
All right, go ahead. Just go ahead.
We hear you. We're just clowning you.
You should have kept it going, Marcy.
No, because he looked pitiful. Y'all know I can't do that.
No.
All right, thank you. All right,
Killjoy, boy.
Hey, I'm sorry, y'all know I can't do that.
Byron, write something funny in the text. Defend me.
He clowned
already did.
He already did.
He said it's a medical problem. Men have a penis and a brain, just not always enough blood to run them both effectively.
Hey, that was funny.
What does that have to do with me not being able to hear?
What's going on, Kevin? How you feeling, man?
Hey, I'm doing fine. I'm tired. I'm doing fine. I got ATL Airport did a job on me last night. I didn't get home till late, but otherwise doing fine. I got a chance to meet my great grandson, spend some time with my granddaughters and my daughter. So good.
Not a big good. That's awesome.
Yep.
Yeah.
That's what's up.
Well, welcome back.
Thank you. Thank you.
Nobody say welcome back to Greg, but that's all right, though.
Hey, Greg, I checked
in.
Are
you back? I didn't know you were back.
Let's get on with this. Let's get on with the
He has jet lag.
Who does?
Mm-hmm.
You do.
You know it. So we talking relationships today. Yeah, more than jet lag, boy. We got relationships today, and we're gonna start it off, okay? And thank you guys for always tuning in. All right, thanks to you guys. We are at drum roll, please.
Let's see, drum roll.
Stop, shit.
Oh, you
Okay, what? She spit in your face?
Greg did
in your
emotion.
face or something?
941 subscribers, y'all. Let's go.
941. Okay.
Thank you all
Yes,
for viewing, for
thank y'all.
listening. Thank you for supporting. That is
Let's
awesome.
go.
Yes.
We in this to win this.
Yes, we are.
What's up, Bree? Hey, look, let's start off with this first question. But you know what? Yeah, never mind. Let's start off with this first question. Hey, are you dating this girl, right? You dating this guy, and you guys are having everything's going great in your head, okay? Then you start saying, man, I'm really feeling this. I'm feeling this. This is good. I'm loving this. Then they put you in the friend zone.
Oh, they put you in layaway.
You cool with that?
I know, right? Well, I guess I'm cool with it because you know why? Because the thing is, as quick as it happened with that person, you can go ahead and find somebody else and start being compatible and start dating. If they don't want me at that point, I'm like, hey, on to the next one.
Well, I'm gonna tell you how I feel about that. Okay, you know what? You spent time with this person, and you really care about this person. Now, would you want to lose what you have, that feeling that you have? The friend zone. I mean, you know what? I'm cool with it. I'm cool with the friend zone, because I don't want to lose what I've built. You know what I mean? I don't want to lose it. And if some, once you define that friend zone, then if you see somebody else, you got a friend for life still, and this person. Okay, they see somebody else, they got a friend for life. But you just have to make sure that you establish the boundaries of that friend zone. Make sure you know what the friend zone is about. All right. Now, it may not be the same thing. You may not do the same things that you used to do. You may not date, go out and do this and that. All right. But you got to still respect that person. And if you're going to be there for that person as you were before, then be consistent. Still be there for that person. So, friend zone is cool. I mean, you may have wanted more, didn't work that way, and things may have happened that person may have had a lot of stuff on their plate and they couldn't give you what you wanted. So they would rather just continue to be their friends. Okay. And who knows what might happen down the line. But I'm cool with it. I'm good. That's just
I
me.
agree. I'm good with it too, because I can respect a person to tell me that's all they want, as opposed to stringing you along.
Exactly.
And if they want to be, just remain friends, then like you said, it's a good friend. You set those boundaries. You know that that's not what they want, and hey, people can't get mad because somebody else don't want them.
Correct.
That part I don't get.
This
why
is true.
People get upset with that, and they do all these crazy things. Is that gonna make them want you more because you slashed their tires or burn down their house?
Now, I'm in agreement with that. If you let me know that you don't like me as something in a romantic way and just as friends, and hey, we're good. You let me know, I'm okay with that. But if you put me on the shelf, like you put me on layaway, where you made some deposits, and then you choose to put me in kind of like in a friend zone, but you don't let me know, and then every now and then you come back and make another little deposit, like on that shelf, keep me up in layaway or whatever, because you're over here, just in case you change your mind later. Like, well, okay, I might want to be back with her. So I'm going to make it seem, I'm going to make these little deposits. We're going to go out and do this, or we're going to do that. But then I'm going to be over here. But as long as you tell me, and when we decide we're going to be in the friend zone, that's all we're going to be is our friends.
Now,
I don't negotiate with terrorists. If they're holding sex hostage, that makes them a terrorist.
Now, that's the question I wanted to ask Margie when you said that the deposits. Is the deposits the same thing? Because I'm not. It's getting lost in translation on my end. As the end zone.
No, to me, deposits just mean that you're doing things as though you're in a relationship, but you don't consider it as just being a relationship.
My thought was way over there.
Oh, yours too? Oh, Lord Jesus.
I thought she was talking about depositing some sperm.
Oh, Lord. See how the tables turn.
That's why I had to ask. Because
I didn't think that's what she meant.
Yeah, because
hey, Bria, how long are you supposed to wait?
does that conversation of being in the friend zone
it.
happen after you've been in the end zone a couple of times, or is it just before that even happens?
Well, I don't do the end zone.
It could be before the sperm is deposited after.
You know what?
You know something?
That's right.
No. Hey,
I had
guys.
to say that.
Hey, Maurice. Hey, Marianne.
Yeah.
Hello, y'all.
Yeah.
We over here. This is Dope Living TV.
I'm all about people being
okay.
honest.
Y'all just erase everything I just said because you guys are all over the place.
No,
I didn't think that was what you meant initially, Marcy. I didn't think that was what you meant initially.
Deposits, that's what I thought she meant.
You didn't think that's what you meant initially, but you went there.
What was
I
the
did.
question? Some folks aren't good with that. It can't work towards a romantic relationship.
Everybody say what's up to Mo and Marianne.
Hey, Mo, Marianne.
What's going on, y'all?
Hey, guys.
Okay, Greg, you gotta repeat the question.
Huh?
What was the question?
It definitely got lost with the deposits.
Yeah.
Basically, are you cool?
Just a little bit.
English.
Are you cool with being in the friend zone? Is the initial question. Are you cool with being in the friend zone if you want more?
Oh, yeah. No, I don't know.
Yeah, maybe so.
I don't know.
Come on, Will and Jada. Come on, Will and Jada.
You better defend her honor, Mo.
Maurice was in the friend zone for a long time.
He told us that. Remember?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
So being in that zone worked out.
I just slipped
all the
on
way
it.
to the end zone.
He said he slipped in there. Hold on now. He got to the end zone.
You know how you don't know what you got until it's gone.
Touchdown!
Man,
he left.
He made some deposits.
Marianne, you must have been doing that.
Put that in our dictionary.
On the serious tip,
It was a backfield.
Sometimes being in the friend zone doesn't show shut the door to any possibility later on. Sometimes people are not in the right space and time at the time that you enter that space. So if someone's open and honest with you at that point, you got to respect that and not push it.
But in the meantime, hey y'all want my phone number? Just inbox me. All right, I got you.
Well,
anyway,
if you put him in the friend zone, you can't be mad if he goes and search someplace else.
That's true too. Yeah, no circling back around.
Yep.
And now now he done went on, and now you ready, and you expect him to come on back because now
it depends on how long the draft is.
I don't know. Sometimes that draft is awfully wide.
You better say that.
Is that like the deposits?
Yeah.
No, the draft is when you have options, other players that come up that are available, and you bring them on your team. And sometimes when you draft a person, they may not work out, and you may have to go to free agencies.
Yeah.
But I would rather go to free agency than be drafted second round.
Oh.
No,
but though, to some degree and to some point, we are second round to somebody.
Yeah,
that's true.
Hey man,
that's true.
If I'm first round draft pick or I ain't nothing at all, hell out of here with that. Byron says everything is about timing and circumstances.
All right.
Yes, sir.
Including circumcisions.
Yeah.
Let's get off of that when the dude said circumcisions. Y'all heard
It's got hurt now.
Here's an interesting question. Do most people have a backup plan? When their current relationship ain't working, do they and they know it's not working, do they have a backup plan? A backup person, I should say.
A backup man?
Most of the time that's a woman, right?
That's what I think, for every. But I'm sorry, Mary, go ahead.
For every guy, I think majority of the guys have backup women, but
absolutely
for women, if that's who we want, that's who we want. I mean, I don't know. What about you, Gina and Marcy? How y'all feel about that?
I have in the past had a backup plan, but that was when I was younger. just in
Where's
case.
your Bible at? Where's your
But
Bible?
as I got older,
I've never dated two guys at once. I've never had a backup plan because it's so much work you put into a relationship. I don't see how people can do it with 2 or 3 or 4 people.
Let me tell you how it's done.
Okay, I don't need to know now.
And Greg, sex ain't always involved because it wasn't with me.
Yes, it is.
He said, "Yes, it is."
Well, the other thing is sometimes when you have a friend, sometimes you don't see the relationship changing directions until it actually changes directions, and all of a sudden you got to deal with it at that time.
Yeah, I guess in that case, then I would say yes, that a backup plan, because I know that when I met Maurice, I was dating somebody, and that's why he was in the friend zone.
Well, it's different then because you weren't dating Maurice, right?
No, but I enjoyed my time more with Maurice than I did with my boyfriend.
Damn.
Wow.
So as soon as he dropped off, you had Mo right there waiting on you.
That's why he was in the friend zone.
That's why he was in the friend zone.
That's because she entered the draft and Maurice was a free agent.
That's right.
You stay right here until I decide if this is going to work or not.
Yeah.
With me, I was just dating both guys. I wasn't serious with either at the time. But it did become a little hard because it's like one day, say a new movie came out, like on Friday, I went with one, Saturday, I went with the other one, and I had to act like, what? Like I'd never seen the movie in different, that I just been the night before, and just different things, I had to kind of.
I'm not good at that. I'm not good at that.
See, I never dated 2 people.
Having to choose one or the other.
I mean, to call Sean Joe.
Marcella, when it became,
been there, done that, called them the wrong name, be like, and they were like, wait a minute, what you got? I said, what you talking about?
See, I couldn't date 2 people. I never dated 2 people at one time.
I was like, well, who is that? I had to play it off.
See, Marcella's lying because it didn't become a little hard. It's either hard or it's not.
Oh, shut up. There was no sex involved, Greg. There was no sex involved. There was no sex involved.
Marcy, come on. You ain't never, hold on.
Not with those two guys. No, there was no sex involved with them.
This show will be on YouTube, okay? So I'm going to play a song for you that they probably
Greg, just because you were out there dipping and dabbing doesn't mean that I was out there doing things.
Dipping and dabbing.
Dipping and dabbing.
I heard that one back in the 70s.
I've never done that, not in my DNA.
But I was not having sex with either one of them.
What did you say, Coach? What did you say, Jeff? You said the same thing, right?
Yeah, I was saying the same thing. I've never dated 2 people. What I did do was you date somebody hardcore, and then what you do is you still had them as you, like we said, the friend zone. But see, she don't know this. The friend zone know. We just cool people, we just hang out, because 9 times maybe not the benefits. I can't go there, Mo. I can't go there. That's too much because then the emotion get involved and all that. I can deal with one. I can't deal with 2. I can't deal with 2 women on that level.
I've never dated my friend.
And you know what?
It's too much. It's too much work.
Yeah,
and you know what? A lot of people, when you start talking about dating, like it's been brought up within this panel tonight, sex is being brought up. You don't always have sex. You don't always have sex when you're dating someone. Dating can just mean that you're going out to dinner or going out to lunch or going out to a play or to the opera or something of that nature. You're just hanging out. That's a form of dating. You don't have to be sleeping with everyone.
That's not dating. That
is dating.
That's not dating.
Dating becomes an emotional attachment to one person has a certain kind of feeling towards another person, not just someone going out. That's just like,
Yeah, that's a friend.
Yeah, that's a friend. But dating.
Okay, then I wasn't dating 2 people. I was
when
going
that
out
person
with
wakes up in
both
the AM and he calls you before you go to work and says, "Look, I'm just thinking about you," that person has already made an emotional investment that he wants to or she wants to go to the next level. Now, that's what happens when people discover they're in the friend zone without the postcard to saying this is where you're at. They're thinking, well, because Friday and Saturday night we hung out, and then the following week you had tickets and you invited me out. And then all of a sudden I don't hear from you 2 weeks and you're out with someone else and you say, well, I'm a friend. It's like, well, why do you call me at midnight if we're just friends?
Kevin, you sound just like I did before I met her.
Bree. Having sex is not happening when dating. So
Well, Mo, you got to say that your wife
Hey,
is there.
I'm gonna tell y'all this, okay? And I think I told y'all this story, okay? And it's gonna be briefer. When I got married to my first wife, before I got married to my first wife, I had a, and if y'all watching, I'm sorry, it happened years ago though, okay? First wife. I apologize in advance. Um,
Don't
I
do
was
it.
dating. I was dating this one girl seriously, and yeah, I know, man, it's terrible. I was dating this one girl seriously. Then I started messing with another girl who had a fantastic body, and I just wanted to get. And then I met my wife. That was the third. So when I met my wife, I let the other two go. But well, no, I didn't let them. No, I didn't. But I got married, and you know how a long time ago they used to put the marriage announcements in the newspaper. All right. Well, I was stupid. I got married to the one that I wanted to marry, but the other two found out through reading the paper, and one of them came to the house and busted the door down. The other one just like, oh, how could you do this to me? How could you do this? I'm like, I don't know. I'm stupid. And my marriage didn't last that long either. So, but I was a whore. All right. And I'm not proud. I'm not. It's not a shame. You go through things. You go through things in life. Okay. You as a boy, as a man, we.
No, I mean for them.
What they was cool. Look, but again,
They
though,
weren't cool if they were
No, they
going
weren't.
and busting down doors.
well, that one was just she was just really mad because I used to pick my wife up in her car, and I was just wrong to her. Period. I was dead wrong to her. The other one, I was just doing.
And they both were nice girls.
Huh?
Both of them are nice girls.
And I'm a nice guy.
Oh, let me correct you on one thing.
4 or 5 times a night, huh?
Okay, let me correct you. You called me a liar a few minutes ago. You're wrong. I'm not a liar. I don't have a reason to lie about anything.
It was a joke, Marcy. Calm down.
Okay. Just wanted to make sure clear that up.
It was a joke. Did you hear the rest of the sentence when I said it? All you heard was Greg said I'm a liar. That's it.
Whatever. I just said that
was more. Going back to the question at hand, a lot of times when you make a commitment to someone, you have to actually go through and look at your garden and says, look, this is where I'm going now. I'm no longer going to look at the daisies and the tulips and let these people know before they find out, and it's a surprise. And going into that conversation, that relationship, you should just say, well, this is where I'm at in this relationship, is that I'm not 100%, because what happens is partners, they think if they hang around long enough, they will wait you out until you settle in on them, and then they act surprised. It's like, I think everyone should know where they are in a position when they enter the space of another human being's life, and say, well, you may not be ready now, but I'll hang around until you're ready later. And in the event that it's not me, let me know. Because I want to know if I'm in the friend zone, and I want to know. Don't treat me like I'm going to be, part of the starting lineup. Not to use another sports analogy, but don't treat me like I'm the one when you're still looking for the one. Let me know so I can know, so I can reserve my Friday nights for someone that I really want to spend time with.
I guess I'm built different, man, because I mean, and I agree totally with what you're saying, but with me, it's like I'm in it and I'm cool, but if it comes to a point where it's time to go, which leads us to the next question: when is the right time to let someone know that you're done? It's time to go. It's time to go. I mean, and I disconnect.
That's me too.
And I know when I was younger, I was a coward. When I was out of the relationship, it's like, well, the one thing I didn't want to do is have that conversation. Is like, well, I'm not feeling it. I want to move on. And it's not because I was insensitive. It's because I didn't want to answer the question, why? Because the first thing a woman asks, most guys, when girl breaks up with the guy, we just kind of go home and, call Greg and said, yeah, me and Marcy broke up. And Greg said, oh, all right, let's just go out.
No, I'll be like, good for you.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. We say congratulations, even though I'm up there like, Greg, I really love Marcella. And Greg said, let's just go out. That's going to make you feel better.
No, again, I'll be like, what in the hell is wrong with you?
But when it comes to, the female, she wants to know, well, why? Can I do anything to make it better? And
Not
when you start
necessarily.
making that,
I'd
It
be
ain't
like,
necessarily so.
okay.
okay, it may not be you, but ask most guys. The hardest thing is to explain to someone why you're not feeling the way that they're feeling to another human being.
Because it's not a connection, and guess what?
That's what Bree is
Even if
saying.
you're in a relationship, that doesn't mean that down the line, even 6 or 8 months or a year later, that you don't realize this person is not for me.
Yeah.
And that's okay.
And normally you've had some type of conversation or some things have happened where you kind of already know that.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But
I have to pay attention to
some
it.
people just don't catch hints.
I'm not going to explain it to anybody. Like, we just don't work out. We're not working out. It's not working.
I mean, what's the explanation for, though? Okay, Byron says just tell the other person that the end has arrived and that everything in life has a beginning, a middle, and an end. I don't think it should be a long, drawn-out conversation, okay? Yes, get the clarity. Get the clarity.
Shouldn't be.
You want clarity, okay? Why this and that? You know, that's keeping you there, okay? Because that person can't really answer why sometimes, okay? That
You're
person
exactly
can't really
right.
tell you the answer. So let it go. It's over. It's over.
When you call that person and you say, "Look, I want to start seeing. I think we should see other people," and then she says, "Well, who do you want to see? Your sister?" No, I don't know.
Say your sister.
It's like, you don't know how to answer that question. It's
don't.
like, how do you hurt? Because what happens with, at least with guys, we don't want to hurt your feelings, or we feel a certain kind of way, like we're being pressured to be someplace where we're not ready to be. Or we just got other things to do, and this was something that felt good today, but it's like wearing shoes that are too tight. It's like, okay, they look good that night, but my feet hurt. I got to let it go. And sometimes when you're dealing with another person, people don't understand. Rejection is hard, and when you're trying to hurt, not to hurt someone's feelings, you ultimately end up hurting that person's feelings because they're not open and ready to hear the truth, at least on your version.
Hey, Darren says drawn out doesn't work. It's truly over. Cut ties completely.
Yeah.
I agree. I mean, it's I don't know. That's why, sometimes you have to, once you fall, I guess you got to prepare yourself. Period. You just got to prepare yourself for what may or may not happen. I think that's what I do all the time. Okay, so I don't ever, I'm not crying and wallowing in that pain. I gotta keep moving. I gotta make sure that within myself, I can go ahead on and move on to the next adventure or journey, I should say. Darian says all that talking and analysis are when two people are having issues but don't want to break it off. Okay, and yeah, that makes sense.
That makes sense.
That makes total sense. Yeah. So I mean, it's I don't know. Go ahead,
again, everybody's gonna hurt. Whether you are gonna be the one that breaks it off or whether you're the one that being broke off with. It still hurts.
Hey, ain't no whispering on this show.
I ain't no whispering.
She whispered first.
They're funny.
I said, what you say? Broke off with?
But you know what? I can't wallow. Like, if somebody tells me they don't want to be with me, then I feel like good for me.
Exactly.
Good for me. You know what I'm saying?
I'm going to tell you, the first time I had my heart broke for 5 years, I was an emotional terrorist. I could not function. I would not commit to a relationship.
Dang, that's too long.
Yeah, I was in love. I was in love, and I couldn't get over it.
Wow.
Hey, when you hurt bad,
we're glad you got over it.
Bad. It don't matter if you man or woman. If you hurt bad, you hurt bad.
And that's why I said
that pain will hit you. That pain gonna hit you.
But you know what? I think when you get that hurt bad like that the first time, I don't think you'll get it again. I'm maybe it's my perception, but I don't think you would let yourself be hurt like that again.
Yeah, you're well equipped because you went through the experience already.
As soon as someone got close to me, I had to let them go. I wouldn't let the relationship develop because I've been hurt so bad because I had spent almost 10 years in a relationship and I thought this was the one. And the way it ended, I just said I couldn't trust another woman. As soon as someone got close, I put distance between them.
But to Darian's comment, you can't wallow. Why do we have to wallow in this? Okay, because that just hurts even more. I'm a firm believer in just get the clarity if you can get the clarity and move on. But the more important thing is, okay, if you spend time with this person and if the reason that you're breaking up is not a reason that, you know, he cheated or she cheated or, you know, the money and this and that. Okay, you just decided that the compatibility isn't there. Stay friends with that person. You know what I mean? Make sure that you can take, because that's a good friend to you. You gave them a part of your life. You guys shared a journey. Stay friends with them if they are that person that can still help you build and help you grow as a person.
But you know what? It depends on how the person broke off with you as well. Because if, you know, you're just not compatible, but then if you found out that the person was cheating, and instead of being honest with you to let you know, I just don't really think we're compatible. It's just not working for me, and I think we should part ways.
Well, I just said they were not for cheating or anything like that.
No,
Okay, it's
okay,
just
well,
because
still, it depends on how you break it off, though.
But you know,
If you're funky and nasty with it, that's you know, that's kind of hurtful, because it's like, okay, I've given my time and my energy, and why is this person trying to hurt me? Because I've heard of people trying to, when they want to break up, it's like, well, let me do something to hurt them, so they're not trying to come for closure, and they're not trying, you know, versus it's okay to break up. It's okay.
And,
You know,
I
things don't
agree
work.
with you, but
you know, it's also how do we treat ourselves, you know, through the breakup. You know, we got to look inward. Why is this hurting us so badly? You know, is it is it really something that they did to us, or is it something that we're doing to ourselves?
Yeah,
And
did we
most of
lose
the
our
time,
identity?
we're doing something to ourselves.
Because we
in
get
my,
caught up a
my
lot
case,
of times.
Yeah, in my case, it was I did it to myself. In 1 hour, I lost the two closest people in my life: my childhood best friend from the crib, and the person I had swore my love to. And I couldn't trust man or woman. As soon as I got close, you know, it's like no, I'm not going there anywhere. And it took.
So when you
And
say that, was it because they got together, or what?
I'm not going to go to the detail. You can fill in the
Same
blanks
person.
when I lose my two best friends in one day. All right. So whatever the circumstance it had, but it damaged me to the point that I could not allow myself to get connected to either man or woman as a friend, and I kept my distance. I kept to myself. I kept focusing on what I was trying to do at hand. I mean, do at that time. And if someone got close, I just said, look, this is how I'm feeling right now. We got to part our ways, because I was afraid to commit or enter that space again, because I still hadn't healed. And it took me 5 years to do this. And I apologize to a lot of people that were in my path, but I had always been honest with people. But what happened is I let people get invested into the relationship, and then I withdrew it as soon as they got too close, because I still hadn't gotten over the two people that I had trusted and the hurt that it caused me. I mean, 24 hours after I discovered what had happened, I moved out of town.
Wow.
Whoa, that was serious.
That's how
Yeah,
hurt
that
it
You
was.
let it take you.
Wow.
You let it take you, dude. You let it take you.
See, that's the point I was trying to make. You a lot of times we put so much in other people that we forget who we are.
Exactly.
And that's the
Lose
thing.
your
You can't.
identity.
You lose your
All the
identity.
time. They lose
Yeah.
themselves in that man that they've decided they're going to be with, you know, and they pick up his identity, and then when something happens, they don't know how to be by themselves.
It happens to men too.
They don't know, you know, which way to go. You know, it. My mother always said that breaking up is like a funeral. You've got to go
Breathe.
through it. You got to go through the grieving process. You know, she said you got to have a ceremony for it. She said,
Yeah.
but you got to go through the grieving process.
And I went through the grieving process, and I will tell the two individuals, I am so happy that you made the decision, because I'd have been stuck for the rest of my life with two people that were dragging their feet on their own dreams.
But look, let me ask y'all a question. So you're in this relationship, right? And we can always go back to these questions, all right? But you're in this relationship, and the relationship is going great, all right? A couple of years go by, y'all still good, all right? That third year, she or he, I guess, decided not to be the same person that they were, and they started going to McDonald's and Burger King and all of that stuff, okay? And they gained a little weight. Before I finish that, let me read what Darian says, kind of long here. She said she dated this fabulous guy who said he didn't want a relationship. Well, when I met him, I didn't either. After 6 months, I broke things off because I was really into him. 4 months later, he begged me to come back, saying he wanted a committed ex-lysine relationship. I went back, but he was on some bullshit. I broke it off for good after a great night of sex. Go ahead, girl. I sat up in bed and told him this wasn't working. He was stunned. I turned over, went to sleep, got up the next morning, showered, packed my stuff, and exclusive. Okay, what's the word? I'm sorry, not lysine. I wanted a committed relationship, but she got up, turned over, went to sleep, got up the next morning, showered, packed the stuff, and broke out. Yeah, Derek, yes, I applaud you.
Way to go. That's my type of girl.
Yeah, but what if that was you? She did that too.
I still applaud her. I like, girl, you got it. That's what's up.
If that's her exit strategy,
woo!
You did that.
Yeah. Say that now.
I joke, but that's look. If you know it's over, but that person probably had great sex. Okay, go ahead and get it in, and then break out.
Leave him or her with something they never will forget.
$100 on the nightstand. That's what.
Wow.
This man, $100.
Wow. He says sometimes you gotta, but they're balls. All right. We grown, right? Absolutely.
Yeah, you're right.
I ain't mad at you. You already know. I ain't mad at you. All right. Get it in, get yours, and then break out.
She's being honest.
She's telling the truth. Darian's always been honest, right? She's telling the truth. I love that. Okay. Back to my other question. Okay, if your mate gained weight within a relationship, and you told her at the beginning, hey man, look, don't do that, right? And she did it. You can hear the weight coming on. You can just hear it. Her skin stretching. All right. If she did that, though, I'm being serious. Though, if she did that, how would you feel?
True love. If it's true love, you wasn't looking at that from the beginning.
Absolutely.
There it is. Yep.
You know somebody
and if you're in a relationship,
big, and then when they start losing weight because they need to get healthy, he ejects himself from the relationship.
Yeah.
I had someone tell me that one time that I started picking up weight. I was on steroids because of a health condition. And they said, I told you, I just want to let you know you're picking up weight and I don't like big women. And my response was, have your fat A looked in the mirror lately? Because they had doubled their weight.
Wow.
They had doubled their weight. And I'm like, and I didn't say anything about that. Right. And I made my exit not long after, rather.
Hey, on a side note, Byron said what Darian's fine behind ain't saying is that she's never had a shortage of guys trying to get with her. But Darian says she knows a couple who has a weight contract. All right.
Wow.
And they promised to stay within a certain weight band.
What?
So what happens if the person gets ill or they're on meds that make them gain weight or something happens, whereas it's nothing that they're doing. It's not like they're overeating or anything of that nature. It's because of an illness. Then what happens?
Yeah, see, and that's why I said if you was looking at the right thing from the beginning, and that was, when you fell in love, you wouldn't worry about none of that.
But see, the thing that we're missing.
Together, I couldn't even catch 100 pounds.
Keep it. I could carry her up the steps in one arm, all the way up to the top of the steps.
You have to respect someone that says, this is what I'm into going into relationship versus having them blindside you afterwards and say I'm exiting because you gained too much weight. I mean, I work in the health and fitness business. I find a lot of women that will come and join a high-end health club in order to attract someone that has a high valued lifestyle, and then they gain weight afterwards, and then they're shocked.
Surprised when the dude run off.
Yeah. Men, when we make an investment and when we first meet a person, we don't forget what we had at the very beginning. And we have to negotiate with ourselves when things start to change. We're all going to get old. We're all going to gain a couple pounds, whatever. But what happens is, at least for me, I'm an active person. I'm only going to be with someone that's active. You don't have to be a certain weight or whatever. but I don't want someone that's going to pull up to McDonald's every Friday night and be shoving Big Macs in their face when I'm sitting here saying, I'm exercising, I'm doing this and whatever. So we have to be honest with each other. It's like I live a certain lifestyle, and we have to complement. If your lifestyle contradicts my lifestyle and jeopardizes mine, then we've got to part ways. I got to be honest with you. I would never date.
That's different, and that's different.
I'm being very, very honest. I love Marianne from the first time I saw her.
We're not talking to you. We know you're in love with her.
But and both of us probably weighed maybe 180 pounds, 90 pounds total together when we first met.
And that's what love does. But
she
you
got sick,
and
when she got sick, that one of the things that when she got sick was she gained weight. So
let me say this: my first wife I met, and she was into it. When she gained weight and she was outweighing me, all I had to listen to, and I loved her regardless because she was my wife. But the thing was, all I have to listen to is that she was tearing herself down every single day, and I kept saying, "Well, we can fix this problem." It's the psychology behind a person when they are tearing themselves down. When you're supporting them, becomes heavy on you. So that's the reason why you got to have that conversation. You guys got to be on the same page, because at least from the female, they perceive something when it comes to their image, because we've made them that image type of person to where it blows up to something, and they never hear the fact that we're okay with the way you look. But it gets heavy on us when we constantly hear, I'm not satisfied with myself. And then they take offense when it says, well, I bought you a gym membership. What do you mean? Why'd you buy me a gym membership? You think I'm fat? It says, no, I'm trying to help you. And all of a sudden, you've got this thing that, well, my husband thinks I'm fat. And once you say that, you can't get that out.
Like at the beginning of the relationship, you're looking at certain things. And then as the relationship goes on, those things may change. Those ideas might change. And from time to time, you need to sit down with your partner and say, listen, this is how I'm feeling now. How are you feeling? And you got to be open and receptive to what they're thinking, in order to continue moving forward. If you're not open and receptive to what they're thinking, and then if they have a different mindset of, well, no, I still like it where it was always, then is a conversation to be had. What is it that you're going to do next?
So Marianne, here's my take on this. All right. Number one, for any woman or man that's out there that somebody has body shamed or anything like that, don't do anything that you don't want to do. Okay. If you're losing weight, all right, and you feel like you want to lose weight for yourself, do it because you want to, not because they want.
Right.
Okay. So now you're giving them control over you, period. All right. Number two,
it's still a conversation that needs to be had.
It's still a conversation, okay? But
because
the bottom line is,
whether you're going to stay in that relationship or not, whether they're body shaming you or not.
Bottom line, though,
stay in that relationship, then you're going to have a conversation.
But the bottom line is that you still don't give up who you are or what you want to do for somebody else. Okay, you can't do that. All right. Number two, if you guys have gone those couple of years and everything's great and this and that, you've fallen in love with this person. You guys are deciding to take this journey together. Understand that person brings more to the table than just weight gain. Okay,
right.
They have a lot. They're still that same person that you started with. Okay,
right.
And as Kevin said, you gain weight when you get older. I'm telling you, I was a stick when I was younger, so I was glad when I got older and started lifting weights and doing this and that. Okay, but respect the person that you're with. All right. They used to say a long time ago, especially for the women. All right. You could tell what she's going to be like if you look at her mother. Okay, that's not even true. But, I've seen some mothers that are fine. I mean, man, MILFs, MILFs, and
MILFs. He spelled it. MILFs.
And the daughters are just cows. I mean, it is what it is. Okay. Byron says if a woman is larger, then I look at her like real estate and say, all it is mine. All right. Bree says, I was in it for the long haul. No, I can't seem to even find. Now she can't even seem to find a real relationship. Darian says that we've adopted the Hollywood look with respect to makeup, hair, etc. But we're not totally invested with the workout side. But those Hollywood types are heavily invested in plastic surgery.
Yeah,
Social media
Yeah, that
retouches,
too.
messing up relationships. And real quick, when she's saying the Hollywood look as respect to makeup, hair, and this and that, but some people are going to look like that anyway. Some people just won't gain weight regardless of what you do. Those people, God bless them, okay, but they're going to be skinny all their lives, or slim, or trim, or fit that mold. They're going to be that all their life, okay. So my thing is this, and this is just my opinion, all right. Love the person that you're with. Love them for who they are. If they gain a little weight, who cares, all right? What did the song say about Music Soul Child? I love you when your hair turns gray. I love you, if you gain a little weight, just as long as the love doesn't change.
And I agree with that.
You forgot that other verse on there. I love you when your hair turns out.
Turns. Oh, when it grows in, Maurice. When it grows in.
My only line in the sand when it comes to, I because of what I do for as a profession, the altering of the body, I can't deal with the plastic surgery, the big booties, and all this, whatever. I want my person when I grow up to grow old with me. I don't want someone trying to force something in there. It's like,
did you say when you grow up?
When I grow old, I'm never. I am never growing up, and I will tell anyone I am as immature as I was at 35, as at the age I am now. But I like everything natural.
But who's to say what a person should look like? I mean, unless it's a health issue, then there should be concern if it's a health issue.
Yeah,
then you would think you want to encourage that person to do better because you want them around.
And I totally agree. I'm just saying, for me, that the plastic surgery, the adding the booty and everything else, and I've had people that have gone through.
Add a booty.
I work at a health club. A lot of women are walking around with fake butts. I'm just not into all the plastic surgery because I train one of the top plastic surgeons in Philadelphia, and when I see some of the things that she goes through in order to try to stay young, me as a husband, I couldn't handle it, and it's just not for me. And I'm not saying it's bad for all women. I'm saying for my personal choice, because of what I do, I'd rather grow old with someone than have someone trying to hang on something that really doesn't matter.
Hey, Darian says it's everywhere. Butt implants are everywhere, more common than breast implants now.
The breast implants
that's very true. I was at CVS last week, and this girl walked by, and my sister-in-law was with me, and I was like, "What the heck?" This person looked deformed, and I was like, "What the heck is wrong?" It was when she
looked like she had a balcony on the back.
You know, like how a windmill, windmill things you put. It was like a windmill. First, it was shaped weird, but then each cheek was moving like a windmill. I was like, ew.
Hey,
and
Marcy,
my sister-in-law said those are implants.
That's very
I was
descriptive.
like, are you serious? It was cold out. Number one, the reason why you noticed, it was very cold outside. We were having winter last week. It was it was sleeting. And this person did not have on a coat. They had on, biker shorts. And I was like, why doesn't she have on a coat? And then I was like, whoa. Everybody stopped.
You were looking really hard, wasn't you?
No, I was not looking really hard.
You know what?
It was extremely noticeable because everybody was stopped in their tracks. It was like,
what the heck?
I know
it looked strange.
I know two individuals that had the surgery on their behind, and they go to Dominican to do it because it's a lot cheaper than the doctors over here
or Brazil.
But she may have just had her surgery. They have to heal. Like, this is a healing process. So the girl that you saw may have just had her surgery, and they have to go through that skin and all of that healing for it to form back to the way it's supposed to be.
Ooh, that just sounds
But
I mean,
I know someone who did it, and I tried to talk her out of it, but she was, and her husband paid for it.
And I'm going to
Did
say,
they have complications? Because you hear
she didn't have any complications, but she couldn't sit for like a whole month.
Yeah, I think it's like 6 to 8 weeks.
She had to sleep on her stomach.
Probably couldn't sit.
But now, I mean, now she got. It looks like a regular old butt. But it's funny because people noticed, like, how did she get this butt all of a sudden? People noticed that there was a difference. But if you didn't know her prior, you wouldn't know that she had the butt implant.
Well, I'm gonna say this as a disclaimer. I'm not putting down anyone that has anything on their bodies altered. That's your choice and his chance. I'm just saying, for me personally, I'd rather be with something when I touch it, it's the way God made it, and not the way Dr. John put it on you.
You may not even know.
Wait a minute, though. Have you touched one of them fake ones?
You may not even know.
Yeah, Greg. What I do for a living, there's no secrets.
Okay,
you may not even know though.
It's something.
But you know,
I
know. Because he's in the fitness arena, so he might, he see bodies without having on that. So
I'm telling you, because what they do is they took the skin off her stomach and they put it on her butt. So it's not like it's something synthetic or artificial. It's your real skin.
Yeah.
And so it's not like you would know by touching it, because when you touch it, it feels like a person's skin.
It's not like breast.
But what's on the inside of it?
Yeah,
your skin is not going to bubble it out. So what's in the skin inside, under the skin, that bubbles it out though?
It
a lot of
takes the fat from your stomach.
When the people get the supersized versions of everything else, it's an implant. Okay. And so technically it's a pillow that's put underneath the muscle. And what happens, you can actually see it if it's not done right.
So that must have been what she had then.
Yeah. And like I said, for anyone's doing it and that's your thing, it's fine. I'm just saying for me personally, because what I do for a living, and I know the risk that people take long term, it's like I set up a program that we did for a certain group of surgeons, all their fitness before they even had their surgery. So when they get the surgery, it's natural looking, because most people get the surgery and then they get fit and everything, all the work that the doctor did is now exposed and it no longer looks natural, and they ultimately go back in. It's just a hard way to do when you're looking at yourself and say, I always got to fix something, because once you start changing one thing, all of a sudden your cheeks don't look right. All of a sudden this doesn't look right. Your lips need
like Michael Jackson.
Like
you know what? Wait a minute. Let's put some life coach. Can we put some life coaching into this? Jeff, what do you say about all this that we're talking about?
Oh,
our life coach.
Jesus. Okay. Say a little something. I just want a minute of people's time tonight. So what we've been hearing a lot about is preferences. We opened up actually talking about preferences or standards. So I just want to focus on that for like 2 seconds here. So the thing is this,
take your time, bro.
In terms of what you want, and as far as the relationship, in terms of somebody's looks or attitude or anything of that nature, no, I always say it, know what you want, people. Somebody can give that to you right off jump if you want it. Preferably, in Life Coach Jeff's eyes, I would like something that's a little more on the natural side. That's just me. To me, natural is the best way. That's how God made it. Plop it right down here in Jeff Rutherford's lap, and I'm a happy brother. You ain't gonna be able to tell me nothing after that. But if you want it, you can find it out there. Take time, find the preference that's right for you, and maybe you'll get there. And people don't settle, but don't be disappointed if you don't have exactly what you want, because sometimes exactly what you want isn't what you need. So keep that into account as well. You're not always gonna get it right the first time, but if women always kissing a few frogs before they find the prince. Maybe that man, he got to put a couple slippers on before he find his princess. You know what I mean? Take your time. Don't be in a rush. It'll all work out.
Redirect, regroup, refocus. Y'all missed it yesterday. Okay, maybe we're gonna have to convince him to do it again for some other people, but that's
real
life coach. All right. Hey, Byron said, I guess that in the end, it really doesn't matter.
It really does matter. He said it really does matter.
Yeah.
Play on words, though.
I see beauty all the time. I see pretty all the time. Beauty comes from within the heart. That's what I look for.
Bree says not a lot of guys feel that way nowadays, though.
But I think a lot of times people mesh with, if you look at it, people mesh with kind of like their size, their body size. You don't,
That's true.
Really, I mean, When I look and think about couples, you don't see. In some cases, you'll see a larger man with a smaller woman.
Do I need to put that picture back up?
No,
No.
please don't.
Don't do
But
that.
for the most
How
part,
about granddaddy?
you usually see people that's kind of like in the same body shape or body weight. Let's put it like that.
Yeah, you do.
So let's. You gonna say something, Jeff?
I was gonna say I'm agreeing with Jenna. Yeah, you do. You normally don't see a lot of people walking around looking like the number 10. You know what I mean? It's you normally don't see that all the time. They normally the same weight, same size. You know, preferably.
So look,
like a 00 or 11.
There you go, 0011. There you go.
We've seen some. I've seen some. Well, I'm not even gonna say that. Anyway,
hey.
So you and your girl, y'all had an argument. Guy goes out and he cheats. Okay, he don't tell the girl, and his cheating goes on and on and on. But she finally, bam, she catches him. All right. Wow. So if you're a woman or if you're a guy, same situation, who you gonna go at? Him or her or both?
Neither. Y'all look. Y'all good for each other. You're good. You two are good for each other.
See you later.
Wait, Marcy, you ain't saying nothing.
I said peace out. I'm gone.
So wait a minute. So what y'all saying?
If I'm finding, cheating is a deal breaker for me. Period. It's just a deal breaker, and evidently you don't want to be with me if you're out there with someone else. I'm not floating your boat or whatever, and I'm good.
In my situation, I've already been where in that spot, and
thank you.
I just said no, and I left. It's like, you want her, you had her, you ain't. I don't need to be there.
Mm-hmm.
I don't need to have her.
When you walk into a situation like that, the person that's cheating apparently can care less about you, because they know going in there's a possibility that they can get caught and they can lose you.
Mm-hmm.
And so if you don't care,
all of that goes though.
Hey,
well then you know what? Bye.
Right.
And you probably probably look back a year from that situation and say, "Man, I'm glad she got stuck with him."
Ooh.
Okay.
That'll happen, but I'm gonna be real. You might hear some cuss words come out my mouth. You might hear me get upset. I might be frustrated. Cause look, I done caught you in the bed with another man's penis inside of you. Look here. Look, I'm keeping it real. I'm just being honest with you. I'm just being real. Because when you see stuff, hey, them eyes ain't lying, girl. Them eyes ain't lying. I got 4 of them, and all I needed was 2 to see what I saw. That's all I needed. That's all I needed. I'm telling you. So I'm telling you, I'm gonna be upset. I'm gonna say my piece, and then I'm gonna leave you alone. I'm gonna let you know how I feel in that moment. Then I'm out the door.
I might say something, but I'm still gone.
Exactly.
And something that I hate
the way y'all
saying,
was talking was y'all was just gonna go.
No,
okay?
For me,
I'm gone. No.
Well, you said,
who
are you going?
I just left.
Who you going at? That's what I said.
Who you going at? I'm not going at either one of them. I'm not. No.
I'm going to speak to the one that I was in the relationship with. And what I hate to see is when these women go after the women, and I'm like, but that man knew you were his wife, or that man knew you were in a relationship with him.
How do you know she didn't know? How many times has it been the friend of the girl that has taken the guy?
But the thing is, I'm going after who I was in a relationship with.
Okay,
but that's the one who I'm like in a contract with.
But you're changing up. You said you weren't gonna do nothing.
No, I'm just saying I wouldn't I'm not going after no woman. I'm gonna say something to like you low down dirty. But I'm out of the relationship. I'm not gonna stay in that relationship. Okay. Oh, you're gonna hear something. You're gonna hear something. I'm gonna say it to him. I'm not gonna go to that woman.
I didn't say anything. I turned around, walked out, and that was the last conversation that we had. In fact, the next time that I seen him, he wanted to have a conversation, and I said, I threw my hand up and walked away.
And I've done that. I did find out that someone was cheating, and we lived together. And they went to work the next morning, and they came back, and they were trying to figure out why my son's clothes were gone, and I was out.
I'm gonna be like, hey man, look, hold. Y'all keep on. Don't stop now. I'm gonna pull up.
I might sit in the chair, look at them both. Cuss them both out, one good one, and then walk out.
I'm like, hey man, you know what? It's not, and it's not going to bother me. Okay, that's just
Yeah.
me. It's not going to bother me. Okay, you know what you're losing when you get out there, all right? And if you want to go out there for that temporary pleasure, and this man has said all of this stuff, and he got you into this bed, okay, and that's what you want to do, knowing the kind of man I am, okay, hey, look, that's what you want. You know, I'm not gonna be mad. I'm gonna say a couple curse words myself, but I ain't gonna hit nobody. It's not necessary.
Yeah, ain't that worth that much.
Especially if she didn't tell him that she had a man.
Yeah.
All right. A lot of times that happens. All right. If it's my best friend, that's done. That friendship is over. You know. But Donna says, when one cheats, that means you're lost and don't know who you are. It's a low energy of self-hate on
and may pass down. Oh,
leaves a shit. Rise up. I hear. Darian said I had two. I look.
What?
I you know, and I've never had that I know of. I've never had anybody cheat on me. Okay, have I cheated? If I'm in a committed relationship, I'm not cheating. Okay, have I? If we going out and this and that, and, you know, we ain't committed. I can see who I want. You call it cheating, call it what you want. All right, but if I'm in a committed relationship, I am not cheating. I don't see any reason to. And if she cheats, that's on her. And that leads to another question. And I think we've tried this before. If they cheat, are you gonna take them back? Why?
I'm just done. I don't. For me, I'm done. I'm just done because how do I know you're not going to do it again? And evidently, you didn't want to be with me in the first place.
Long enough for them to come back in it.
That trust, it's hard to get that
trust. Exactly.
Yeah, the trust
and respect is gone. You know,
trust. All of it out the
window. What about that good? You didn't have that good. That's the best.
There's some more good out there, and there's some better out there as well.
Right?
This is true.
As much as we would say that, when I was doing the research for my book, I ran upon a lot of couples that were still together and survived infidelity.
It's hard.
When I asked why, and the consistent thing was, it was worth us staying together and heal together than it was for us to separate. It depends on who you are as a person and how you deal with conflict resolution, and it also depends on the person that committed the act, of them acknowledging that they hurt you and the reasons why they stepped out of the relationship. Sometimes you can push your partner into making a decision that they normally wouldn't make because they are empty in the relationship and they find solace within someone else. Not saying it's right, not saying it's wrong, but we're human and we have needs and we need to be appreciated. But it's hard for a person to stay in a relationship and rebuild that trust. But that person, when you get a second chance to build that relationship, you got to basically walk over hell and high water to prove to that person it was worth them taking a chance on you. They're never going to get over that hurt. They're never going to trust you 100%. But there are a lot of people that are surviving and thriving in relationships that they didn't have all the answers with, and sometimes the other partner has to also acknowledge at some point that they fell short in the relationship and then made the relationship better. Not saying cheating is right, but you have to be in a good place within yourself. If you're a serial cheater and you're in a committed relationship, you need to quit doing damage to other people and move on until you find out who you are and who you can live with. You can't continue to hurt good people.
Hey, let me clarify Darian's comment. She said she had two male friends who walked in on their wives in bed with other men. People cheat. And she said that was a deal breaker for both couples. The visual was too much. Byron says cheating is a form of risking my health. Miss me with that bullshit. Bree says, ooh, she's in a committed relationship, but you aren't. Clarity. Darian says, yes, millions of couples work through it. Bree says most don't. But Donna says many levels. My bad. We pass down brokenness on too many levels. That's the sauce. LOL. No, thank you to that. I'm sorry if I read this. I can't read it like that because I don't know what it's saying. what it's saying. Okay, and Darren says we don't push our partners to cheat; they decide that on their own.
Yeah,
and see, that's a misnomer right there. Okay, people say, "Well, I cheated because you made me. You don't give me enough time. You don't do this. You don't do that." Okay, communication, guys. Okay,
That's what
communicate with
it
that
is.
person. Let them know what you need.
And relationships are work. So if you don't put in the work, and like Greg said, the communication, that you know, and you just that's just some crap.
That's the key though. The communication is the key. Darian says unhappiness doesn't always come out through cheating. You got to be able to talk to each other about your situation, about what you like, what you don't like. Marianne said that earlier. You know, communicate about you know what's the standard in this relationship right now, okay? And what are we building towards? What are we going to do together? All right, what are we going to do apart? You know, when do I have my night out with the boys and a night out with the girls? Okay, if that's what you want to do, communicate all of this stuff. I'm telling you, you'll have a great relationship. I'm saying this because I don't communicate.
And
believe it or not,
something that people don't normally like to talk about: how do you deal with anger? How do you that's a big thing. How do you deal with anger when there's something that's not going the way you feel that it should go? How do you talk to the other person? How do you want the other person to come to you if they're angry?
You don't talk about it when you're mad. That's for sure.
No, and I'm just saying that's something that you should talk about. That's another thing you should talk about at the beginning of a relationship, when you really see that you guys are really clicking and that you want to be in a serious relationship. That's something you need to know, because if you deal with anger by leaving, I'm mad, so I'm going to leave the home and we're not going to talk about it. But when I come back, everything should be all hunky dory. That's not going to work, because one of you are going to still be upset, or it's just being pushed under the rug, and then there's some animosity that's building up for each time that something of that nature is happening.
Well, the other thing, cheating doesn't always involve another human being. Sometimes we emotionally cheat because we don't want to communicate with that person. So we work 14-hour days when we're only scheduled to work an 8-hour shift. We get involved in other habits and other projects because we don't want to be around that person. So that's an emotional cheating.
Oh yeah.
So it always doesn't involve someone, or shutting down altogether. That's cheating.
And I hear you on that, because that's how it was in my marriage before. How it was before we got our divorce. I just did not want to be at home. I had no peace at home. I was always at the bowling alley. I was always trying to go out with my people. I was always trying to find other stuff to get into. I was working double shift, 12, 16 hours, just taking them, because I was like, you know what? The less time I am at home, the more peace I'm having. And I had it in my mind, and I was like, you know what? I was like, maybe, just maybe, in a stupid way of thinking, this could save us. But I was like, nah, it's going to do more damage than anything, because we ain't rectifying nothing.
Your job and your hobby.
You already had the gasoline and the matches in your hand.
There it is. Yep, I did.
You just had to soak the draws, right?
That's all it was. That's all it was.
If more couples would take some of those date nights and sit down and talk to each other instead of going to the movies, instead of going to the club, go find you a nice quiet spot
that y'all like,
and you talk about daily activity, and and then break down how. And be honest and open. And that's the hard part right there, is to be honest and open about how you truly feel, because we get so afraid that we're going to lose that other person if we say something wrong, and that other person has to be able to accept what it is you're saying and know that you're not saying it to try to hurt them, or, that you're just trying to get everything out on the table. And this is how you feel. Whatever it is that you need to talk about, you need to have a nice, quiet place. And when you feel like you're getting heated, there needs to be something that signal that both of you can say, listen, this is getting too heated. Let's stop talking about this.
Yeah. Pick it up later on.
And that's I consider that to be true love, whether it be you love the person or you're in love with the person, where the person feels comfortable enough to be able to speak their truth and just lay it on the lines how they truly feel without having repercussions coming at you, for just being honest. Now you don't necessarily have to agree with that person,
right.
but they know that they can come to you and just tell you, look, these are some things that's kind of bothering me, and I feel we need to talk, versus being afraid to bring that up.
Believe it or not, that's easier said than done. When you get,
I'm telling you,
easier said than done. I mean, the same way Jeff and I both talked about our past relationship that we didn't want to come home. When you get to that point that the conversation that you're having, the other person spends more time defending their position versus listening to saying or acknowledging this is how I feel.
You know why? Because you're going into it in an argument. You're not going. You got to have a mindset that you're not going into this as an argument, that this is a discussion. Me and Maurice, I always tell people, I can count on one hand how many times we done had an argument, fallout fight.
Big fallout fight.
5 times in our entire 30 years of being together.
A fallout.
You know what I mean?
And it wasn't about us, it was about the kids.
It was about other people,
Yeah.
But you got to you can't go into it with a mindset, I'm gonna make him see my what I'm talking about. No. And most of the time, y'all actually saying the same thing. You're just saying it different.
But that's when you listen to understand and not listen to respond.
Most of the time, you saying the same thing, you're just saying it different.
I say that all the time, Marion. That is wisdom. I say that all the time.
And that
because
is so true, Jeff. That
it
is
is true. Because when you are with somebody, when y'all start trying to communicate, I tell my wife this all the time. I say, we are saying the exact same. We communicate and we saying the exact same thing. We just doing it 2 different ways because we 2 different people. Exactly. And sometimes trying to get into that medium can be tough because 2 people have different styles of talking. And like you said, and I love like how y'all said earlier, you have to be willing to listen to that person and understand that when they say something to you, they not trying to hurt you or tear you down. They're trying to just let you know how they feel. And
I also want to say this. If you consider the conversation we have right now.
Thank you, Jeff.
Everyone that's given this advice is giving advice after they've already made the mistake because we're on our second marriages. All right. So when you
gotta make the mistake in order to learn from it.
Yeah. All right. Wait a minute. Let me say something. This is the reason why I said when you go out and you say communication is key. And like I said, the reason why things don't advance is because one person defends their position while the other person is trying to say, acknowledge what I'm feeling is real. Listen to what I'm saying, acknowledge and understand. And that's the reason why we're all on our second marriages instead of our first. It's because at some point we had a conversation that we need to have, and the person wasn't open to saying or validating what you were saying to them was important enough for them to either change,
I'm
address,
hoping that we're doing this so those young people who are on their first relationship don't go and make the mistakes that we made in our first relationships that made us go looking for that second relationship.
Getting at it.
And that's the goal.
I would say my first marriage, I don't look at it as a mistake because I've got 3 beautiful children. I just think that at the time that we were married, and I say this in my book, if the knowledge that I acquired after had been applied to the relationship that we had, we would still be married.
Well, I'm not saying that the first one, I'm not saying it as a mistake, like in a bad connotation. I'm saying it as you made mistakes in that relationship. No matter what the relationship was, mistakes were made on both sides. The relationship couldn't hold up. So you had to move on. Yeah. The second time around, you're like, I'm not going to make this mistake. I'm not going to make that mistake. See, now it's back to me. It's not on that other person. That other person's not in the picture. It's back on me.
Yeah. And on that note.
Thank you, Chip.
That note, Jeannie, you got something you want to say?
No, I mean, everything that you guys are saying is so true. And one thing Kevin brought up is it sounds good in theory, but sometimes it's hard to be calm when you go in and say, come on, let's sit down and talk about this. You know, we really need to work. It don't work like that in real life. You know, you have
Well, the
to.
more you practice it, the better it
The
becomes.
easier it becomes.
Yeah, the more you practice it. You know, you got to get started somewhere, though. You got to get started
Yeah.
somewhere.
Yeah, I'm
And you're
so
doing it for yourself. You're not
I'm
doing it
such
for
a
that other
vocal
person. You're doing it for
person that,
yourself.
you know, I can't hold back what I feel, and I have to
As
let
you
people
shouldn't.
know
As you
what I
shouldn't.
feel.
Right, but there are ways that you can do it.
Right.
But sometimes people get angry. I mean,
Oh
you're not
yeah,
gonna go through
that
life
don't
without
mean
Yeah,
being
people
Right,
will.
angry.
right.
Yeah.
don't mean
True.
that we
That's
don't get
true.
angry. There's
So
times I
we'll
get
just
angry at him, and he'll hear me mumble something underneath my breath, and he'll say, "What did you say?" And sometimes it is like, if I wanted you to hear it, I would have said it louder.
I'm trying to
and
keep the peace
we'll
here.
discover some of this.
Exactly.
What's so crazy is that reaction that you just said me do. That's exactly what happened. I started laughing, and
Hey,
then
y'all, it's time to get
something.
out of here. It's time to get out of here.
Oh,
So it's always good when we talk about these relationships, all right? You know, I learn a lot, believe it or not, okay? I joke a lot because that's what I do. But I learn a lot because, you know, relationships it's just like a job, okay? Let's go around the horn, man. More Marianne, what you got to say?
I say to those young people, stop, think about what it is you want,
in a
think of,
relationship.
out of a relationship, and then talk about it open and honestly.
Communicate. Communication, just like we always just said. Communication, I'm talking about real communication. I'm not talking about, something like what she wants me, hear from me and I want to hear from her. I want to hear exactly the way she feels. And she wants to hear the same from me. That's what she's expecting and that's what I expect.
That's great, Kevin.
I'm going to say to everyone that's listening, sorry. Stop saying I am sorry. Sorry is just an excuse until you do it again. We're all humans. The best way of phrasing this, own up to your own mistakes and tell that person you will work on doing better the next time. So if someone gives you a chance, then make them not regret it.
Marcella.
I would just like to say, for those that are in relationships or want to be in relationships, be willing to put the work in. Be honest, communicate, and be open to hearing the other person's opinion and their view of something. They're not always the same as yours, and that was what's with everyone being so unique. That's what make a lot of relationships really truly work.
Well said. Life coach.
Yes, I got to piggyback off that to my people in their mid-20s. I'm in my early 30s. Y'all take the time to listen. Take the time to actually effectively communicate, because when y'all at that stage, when y'all early in it, it's that fairy tale and roses. You know what I mean? You know that your partner she'll fart roses and crap out unicorns. You know what I mean? That's just how I go. And you have to be able to sit down, take in some of the information that's there, and say, okay, this is what we working with, this is what we got, and be honest with each other. The more honesty that you have in the relationship, the more easy it'll be to work around it. Because then y'all start about to learn about each other. Y'all will start to navigate and move. That's what I got.
Gina.
I just want to say, stop looking at those TV relationships and think that's how it's supposed to be.
There you go.
That is not real
Yes,
life.
yes.
It does not work like that. Life is real, and there are real things happening in your life, and it does not depict what's happening in those shows. Stop thinking your relationship can be like that. They are paid actors and actresses. You cannot have a life like theirs. Look at reality. Look at the things that you want out your life and that you want out of a partner. Look at the things that you're willing to accept and move into a relationship in that fashion.
There you go. I love everything that you guys just said. Okay. Mine, I got to put some levity to it. Okay. Everybody, look, give your relationships. If you're having problems, give your relationship a breath mint. All right. Refresh it. All right. I'm just saying, refresh it. Make it new. Make it smell better. Make it taste better. Jeff talked about farting roses. Okay, make it taste better. Make it smell better. All right. Look, we are as you get to be an adult, you grow up. You are not going to make any grown person do what you want them to do. All right. So that's when the communication, as Maurice, as everybody just said, that's when the communication comes in. Know your boundaries. All right. Respect the other person's boundaries. And anytime, and I think we need to give a seminar to these young ladies. All right. Know your worth. You know, you're in your 20s and your early 30s, this, that. Know your worth. All right. You do not have to accept anything. Okay. You get what God gives you. Okay. What God is blessing you with. Don't accept this every guy that comes through, okay? Because everything that glitters is not gold. Everything that looks good is not good all the time. You have to take time, cultivate a relationship, make a relationship like you want it to be, okay? On both sides, all right? Respect your partner. Your partner will respect you, hopefully, all right? And as far as cheating goes, you can't stop that either, all right? It's going to happen if it's going to happen. So just know your boundaries, know what you want, and respect yourselves. Know your worth. That's just my comment. Know your worth. Hey, man, look, this is Dope Living TV Live. We had a great time tonight. I love it when we talk about relationships, and that's always our go-to subject when things fall through that we plan. You guys, some behind-the-scenes tidbits, okay? When it doesn't go through, because we can always talk about relationships. That's one thing. Relationships and funerals. It's gonna happen. All right.
Good night, Brenda.
But good night, Brenda. But we're here. This is Dope Living TV Live. Okay, we'll see you guys tomorrow. Tomorrow's Wednesday, so y'all know what that means.
Spoken word.
Spoken word.
Hey,
word.
Go to Facebook. Look up Nick Nova. Okay, he did an interview with his mother.
Oh yeah, I saw.
It was fantastic.
Who is that?
Okay.
First I thought it was his girlfriend or something.
That was his mom. You know, nice interview. Conversation. I don't like calling things interviews. They're conversations. All right. It's what we have. We're here to entertain, inspire.
Bye-bye, Marianne.
Excuse me.
I'm sorry, I was telling Marianne bye.
Marianne was on the show tonight.
You know better than that, son.
She's gonna get you.
I'm gonna get out of here before I get cussed out on the air. Okay.
Yeah,
on the air. Remember, that's a key word. Remember.
I got this, bro. I got it. I'm sleepy, but I got this. Y'all already know. I was gonna show you. I said, what is this? Hold on.
I think a lot of times.
Never mind. All right. I'm gonna show you this too. Hold on.
Hey, y'all.
No. She went from toothless to a full mouth of teeth. Okay, but let me leave y'all with some input.
You're beautiful.
That's enough. Okay. Thank you for tuning in. Dope Living TV Live. We'll see you guys tomorrow. All right. Peace out.
Good night.